I came to Buenos Aires expecting a cheap steak and a tango show, and I found a European-level city where $1,200 a month buys you a furnished apartment in a tree-lined neighborhood, world-class beef for $12, and a nightlife scene that doesn't even start until midnight. This is the real cost of living in Buenos Aires, and the numbers will surprise you. Buenos Aires has always punched above its weight. A city with the architecture of Paris, the food culture of Rome, and the nightlife of Barcelona. And right now, after years of economic turbulence, the cost of living has landed in a sweet spot for anyone earning in dollars or euros. A single person can live comfortably in Buenos Aires for $1,200 to $2,000 a month, and that includes rent, food, transport, healthcare, and a social life. Compared to New York, London, or Sydney, that's 50 to 65% cheaper across the board. Here's the breakdown. Rent runs $400 to $800 for a one-bedroom in a good neighborhood. Food costs $250 to $400, and that includes eating out regularly. Utilities are $50 to $80. Transport is practically free at under $30 a month. Healthcare runs $50 to $150. And lifestyle, cafes, bars, culture, adds $150 to $300. Total, roughly $1,200 to $1,800 all in. The exchange rate is the wild card. Argentina's peso has stabilized under Milei's reforms, but this is still a country where the economic landscape can shift fast. More on that later. Housing is your biggest expense, and Buenos Aires has options at every price point. Let's go neighborhood by neighborhood. Budget tier, Almagro, Beto, and Caballito. These are authentic, local neighborhoods, not touristy, not polished, but genuine Buenos Aires. A one-bedroom here runs $300 to $500 a month. You'll find classic Porteño apartment buildings, corner bakeries, and zero pretense. Mid-range, Palermo and San Telmo. Palermo is the undisputed expat hub, tree-lined streets, sidewalk cafes, boutique everything. Palermo Soho, Palermo Hollywood, and Las Canitas each have their own personality. A furnished one-bedroom in Palermo costs $600 to $900. San Telmo is grittier, artsy, full of antique markets and tango bars, $450 to $700. Premium, Recoleta and Puerto Madero. Recoleta is Buenos Aires at its most Parisian, elegant boulevards, French-inspired architecture, world-class museums. Expect $800 to $1,200 for a one-bedroom. Puerto Madero is the modern waterfront district, sleek towers, marina views, heavily patrolled, but it's expensive and sterile. $1,200 to $2,000. Quick tip. Most landlords here want payment in pesos, but a growing number of expat-friendly listings accept dollars directly. Whatever you do, sign a contract with clear terms on the currency. I've heard too many stories of mid-lease surprises. One important detail, many Buenos Aires apartments require a garantía, a local property guarantee or guarantor. As a foreigner, this can be tricky. Services like Garanties or Fiener offer guarantee insurance for about $100 to $200, which solves the problem. If there's one thing Buenos Aires does better than almost anywhere, it's food. And the prices are still unbelievable. Start with the asado, Argentine barbecue. A thick, perfectly grilled bife de chorizo at a quality parrilla costs $10 to $15. That same steak in New York, $45 minimum. Empanadas, the national street food, run 50 cents to $1 each. You can grab a dozen mixed flavors for under $8. Media lunas, the Argentine croissant, cost 30 cents each at local bakeries. Daily cafe culture is huge here. A cortado at a neighborhood cafe costs $1 to $2. Buenos Aires might have more cafes per capita than Paris. For groceries, a monthly shop at Carrefour or Gia runs $150 to $250. Fresh produce at neighborhood ferias, open-air markets, is even cheaper. A kilo of beef runs $5 to $8. A bottle of Malbec, genuinely good Malbec, costs $3 to $6 at a wine shop. Mid-range restaurant dining. A full meal with wine for two costs $25 to $40. That's not a typo. fine dining here is mid-range pricing elsewhere. This surprised me. The best parillas aren't the famous ones in Puerto Madero. Head to a neighborhood spot in Palermo or Villa Crespo. The meat is just as good, the portions are bigger, and you'll eat for half the price. Healthcare in Argentina is surprisingly good and genuinely affordable. The public system is free and available to everyone, including foreigners. But like most public healthcare in Latin America, expect long wait times and crowded facilities. The private system is where most expats go, and it's excellent. Hospitals like Hospital Italiano, Hospital Alemán, and Hospital Britannico are ranked among the best in Latin America. A private health insurance plan, called a Prepaga, costs $50 to $150 a month depending on coverage. That gets you fast access to specialists, modern facilities, and English-speaking staff at top hospitals. Without insurance, a general consultation costs $15 to $30. A specialist visit runs $25 to $50. Dental work is a fraction of U.S. prices. A cleaning costs $20 to $40, and even complex procedures like crowns run $200 to $400. Prescription medications are widely available and affordable. Most common drugs cost $3 to $15 at pharmacies. Argentina has a strong pharmaceutical industry, so generics are abundant. Don't skip the Prepaga. Even the basic plans are excellent, and hospital visits without one can add up fast. OSD, Swiss Medical, and Galeno are the three names you'll hear most, all solid. Every city has costs that don't show up in the brochure. Buenos Aires is no exception. First, utilities. Electricity, gas, and water run $50 to $80 a month, but that depends heavily on the season. Summer air conditioning can push electricity bills up by 50%. The Milei government has been rolling back subsidies, so utility costs have risen sharply since 2024. Internet is solid. 50 to 200 megabits per second fiber is common in central neighborhoods for $15 to $25 a month. A local SIM with generous data costs $5 to $10. The subbed Buenos Aires Metro costs about 25 cents per ride. Buses run on the same SUB card for similar prices. A monthly transport budget rarely exceeds $15 to $30 even for daily commuters. Visa costs are minimal. Most nationalities get 90 days visa-free, renewable with a quick trip to Uruguay. The digital Nomad visa costs about $200 for 6 months. Tipping culture, 10% at restaurants is standard. But here's the hidden one, expenses. These are building maintenance fees, charged monthly, and they can run $30 to $80 on top of rent. Always ask about expenses before signing a lease. Buenos Aires is safe, with caveats. The U.S. State Department rates Argentina Level 1. Exercise normal precautions, the safest rating there is. Violent crime against foreigners is rare. But petty theft is real, especially phone snatching and distraction scams. The neighborhoods you'll likely live in, Palermo, Recoleta, Telmo, are generally safe during the day and evening. Puerto Madero is the safest overall, with heavy security presence. Areas to be cautious: La Boca outside the tourist strip, Constitution near the train station, and Retiro at night. The Motocoro, motorcycle snatch thief, is the specific threat to know about. They ride in pairs, grab phones and bags from pedestrians, and disappear in seconds. Keep your phone tucked away on quieter streets. Politically, Argentina is in a transformative period. President Milei's aggressive economic reforms have cut inflation from 211% annually to under 35% in just 2 years. Government spending has been slashed, subsidies reduced, and the fiscal deficit eliminated for the first time in 14 years. Infrastructure is solid. The city has 6 metro lines, an extensive bus network, modern airports at Ezeiza and Aeroparque, and ride-sharing through Uber and Cabify. Getting around is easy, cheap, and reliable. Argentina offers some genuine advantages for expats and remote workers, if you know how to set things up. The digital Nomad visa is straightforward, $200, valid for 6 months, renewable to 12. You need proof of $1,500 monthly income and health insurance. No local tax on foreign-earned income while on this visa. Banking. Most expats use Wise or Payoneer to receive foreign income, then convert to pesos as needed. The blue dollar, once a massive parallel exchange rate, has largely converged with the official rate under Milei's reforms, simplifying things enormously. Mercado Pago is the local payment app. It's essentially Argentina's version of Venmo or WeChat Pay. Get it immediately. Coworking is thriving. Palermo alone has dozens of spaces. Monthly hot desk memberships run $50 to $100. Area Trace, La Maquinita, and Manawa are popular choices with fast Wi-Fi, community events, and good coffee. Time zone is a major advantage. Buenos Aires is UTC-3, only 1 to 2 hours ahead of US East Coast. Perfect alignment for remote work with North American clients. Skip the banks entirely. Wise to receive, Mercado Pago to spend. That combo handles 90% of daily financial life here. Argentine banks are bureaucratic nightmares for foreigners, not worth the headache. Argentina's economic story is the most dramatic in the world right now. When Milei took office in December 2023, inflation was running at 211% per year, the highest in decades. He immediately devalued the peso by 54%, slashed government spending, and eliminated the fiscal deficit. It was brutal. Subsidies for energy, transport, and food were cut overnight. Poverty spiked to over 50% of the population. But the macro numbers started turning. By late 2025, monthly inflation dropped to around 2.5%, down from 25% per month at its peak. The IMF forecasts 4.5% GDP growth in 2025 and 3.5% in 2026. Argentina posted a record $18.9 billion trade surplus in 2024. The currency has stabilized. The peso now trades within a managed band around 1,000 to 1,500 per dollar. For expats earning in strong currencies, this means predictability. The blue dollar premium has essentially vanished. You get a fair rate at official exchanges, but risks remain. Argentina owes $8 billion in external debt payments in 2026. The government's austerity has real human costs. Wages haven't kept pace with the cost adjustments. And history shows Argentina can reverse course quickly. This is a country that has defaulted 9 times. The current window is attractive, but nobody here will tell you it's permanent. Buenos Aires scores exceptionally well as a digital nomad base, and the numbers back it up. Internet, fiber optic is standard in central neighborhoods. Speeds of 100 to 200 megabits per second are common, and most airbnbs and apartments come with reliable connections. Cost, $15 to $25 a month. Coworking, the scene is mature. Palermo alone has over 20 dedicated co-working spaces. Quality ranges from basic hot desks at $50 a month to premium spaces with private offices at $150 to $200. Most include unlimited coffee, fast Wi-Fi, and community events. Community, Buenos Aires attracted over 72,000 digital nomads in 2023. There are active Slack groups, weekly meetups, language exchanges, and startup events. The expat community skews young, creative, and tech-oriented. Cafe culture. This is where Buenos Aires truly shines for remote work. Laptop-friendly cafes are everywhere. Palermo alone has dozens where you can camp for hours with a $2 core-to-do. The city essentially functions as one giant co-working space. Co-living is growing too. Spaces like Selena and Nomadico offer furnished rooms with co-working included for $500 to $800 a month. Overall Nomad score, 8.5 out of 10, only behind Lisbon, Bali, and Bangkok in our rankings. This is where Buenos Aires separates itself from every other budget destination on the planet. Weather. Buenos Aires has a temperate climate, warm summers from December to March with highs around 30 Celsius, mild winters from June to August with lows around 8 degrees. No extreme heat, no monsoons, no tropical storms. It rains occasionally, but nothing that disrupts daily life. Culture. This city is culturally overwhelming in the best way. The Teatro Colón is one of the world's greatest opera houses, and tickets start at $5. The Malbec Museum, Recoleta Cemetery, and San Telmo Sunday Market are all world-class experiences. Tango is everywhere. From street performances in San Telmo to milongas where locals dance until 3 a.m. Nightlife. Buenos Aires has the most intense nightlife culture in the Americas. Dinner starts at 9 or 10 p.m. Clubs open at 1 a.m. and peak at 3. Pre-gaming, called previa, is an institution. A cocktail at a trendy Palermo bar costs $4 to $8. Fitness. Gym memberships run $20 to $40 a month. The city has massive public parks. Bosque de Palermo is 400 hectares of green space with running trails, lakes, and open-air yoga classes. And the people, porteños, as Buenos Aires locals call themselves, are passionate, opinionated, and deeply social. This is not a city of small talk. Conversations go deep, fast. Worth the extra effort, go to a milonga at least once. Even if you don't dance, watching locals tango at midnight in a century-old hall is one of those experiences you'll never forget. How does Buenos Aires compare to the competition? Let's stack it up. Buenos Aires versus Lisbon. Lisbon has become significantly more expensive. Rent is 40 to 60% higher, dining costs nearly double. Buenos Aires wins on food and culture, but Lisbon has better weather stability and EU access. Buenos Aires versus Mexico City. Similar price points, similar vibrant culture. Mexico City has better food variety and proximity to the US. Buenos Aires has safer neighborhoods, better nightlife, and more European architecture. Buenos Aires versus Bangkok. Bangkok is still cheaper overall, especially for food and healthcare. But Buenos Aires offers something Bangkok doesn't: a Western cultural infrastructure with European aesthetics at Southeast Asian prices. Buenos Aires versus Medellin. Medellin has better weather year-round and lower rent in some areas. But Buenos Aires has superior internet, a more mature co-working scene, and a level of cultural depth, opera, museums, literary history that Medellin can't match. The bottom line: Buenos Aires is the best value in the Americas for someone who wants European sophistication without European prices. It's not the cheapest city on this channel, but it might be the one with the highest quality-to-cost ratio. What's next for Buenos Aires? And should you move now or wait? The biggest factor is Milei's reforms. If the current trajectory holds, lower inflation, stable currency, growing GDP, Buenos Aires becomes even more attractive. Foreign investment is returning. Real estate prices in dollar terms are still well below their 2017 peaks, meaning there's upside for long-term renters and buyers. The digital nomad visa program is expanding. Buenos Aires city government has been actively marketing to remote workers with tax incentives and co-working partnerships. Expect more infrastructure tailored to nomads in Palermo and surrounding areas. The peso risk. If political instability returns or debt payments trigger a new crisis, the peso could devalue again. That would make Buenos Aires even cheaper in dollar terms, but it would come with social upheaval and potential service disruptions. Rent trends. Dollar-denominated rents in central areas have been climbing 10 to 15% annually as demand from expats and nomads increases. The window of ultra-cheap Palermo apartments is closing, but it's not closed yet. The wild card is the 2027 midterm elections. If Milei's coalition loses ground, policy reversals are possible. Argentina rewards those who pay attention. Buenos Aires. European grandeur at Latin American prices. World-class steak for $12. Furnished apartments in tree-lined neighborhoods for $600. A nightlife that never sleeps. And a cultural depth that rivals any city on the planet. Whether you're a digital nomad, a freelancer, or someone dreaming of a life that costs less but feels like more, Buenos Aires deserves a serious look. If this breakdown changed how you think about Argentina, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next city. Like this video if Buenos Aires wasn't what you expected, and leave a comment. Would you pick Palermo for the cafe culture, Recoleta for the elegance, or San Telmo for the tango? I want to know where you'd set up base.